Hey everybody, thank you for pressing play on this video and maybe even turning up the volume a little bit. For those of you who have seen my few number of videos before, you know that it's not really something I love to do, kind of outside my comfort zone, but I do recognize that really lengthy posts are not going to get read past the first two sentences, and this is something I wish I would have done a long time ago, so I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. I want to do something that I wish I would have done before, which is to actually explain what Beachbody is. I think myself and a lot of other people who are either coaches or just challengers doing it go, oh, Beachbody's great, Beachbody worked for me, you should try Beachbody. And people are like, don't know what that is, not interested, have fun with whatever you're doing. And that's exactly how I responded in the past to things that I didn't really understand. So the way I actually got started was a great story. It was just a simple play date with a friend of mine, and our youngest kids are the same age. They're about 18 months old at the time, and her and I were probably about the same size and build, and I ran into her and I was like, oh my gosh, you look fabulous, what are you doing? I had been trying to run, I'd been doing boot camps, I'd been trying to work out periodically, and nothing was working. And even though I was getting closer to pre-baby weight, I wasn't really happy with where I was before I had kids, so it wasn't like I saw the end in sight anywhere. So anyway, she said, I'm doing T25 and it's great. You know, you'd probably love it. So at that point I was like, nothing I've ever done has worked. So what do I have to lose? So I went home that night. I didn't research it. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I was like, worked for my friend. Sure, I'll try it. And I had no idea what I was getting into. And I really thought beforehand that I was already eating pretty healthy and I had a bunch of healthy habits and I was working out pretty well. And turns out I was wrong on a lot of those fronts, and I was doing okay. I was maintaining, but I was never going to get where I needed to get. So what I got a week later after hitting that purchase button was a kit in the mail, and that kit contained T25, my all-time favorite workout. I sign a lot of people up on many different workouts, but this one will always be my first and my favorite. I got a bag of Shakeology. Had no idea what I was getting, assumed it was protein powder, and I'll explain that in a little bit too. And then I got some books, which are fitness and nutrition guides. So I joined what's called a challenge group, which is a week-long pre-season, which is you just preparing and getting ready for your fitness journey, which is weird for someone like myself who's like, okay, I got my stuff, I just want to start. I don't want to do all this homework. But it's just like anything else. You need to study it and be good at it so that you can be successful from the get-go. So we actually spent a week planning and preparing, which was in the end the most valuable 7 days of the entire program. And still every time I do a new group, it's still my favorite part. So what I'll explain is just a little bit of the components of some of the different programs. So 21-day fix, that's another one that you've probably heard of that comes with the containers. So this is cucumbers and hummus, so it's a vegetable and a healthy fat. This is some fruit, and this is some Greek yogurt. So this is the protein category, and I would probably mix these two together for an afternoon snack. So I will tell you, with everything that's in front of me, there's nothing magic in these, right? There's no magic pill, there's no magic drink. Any of these things individually or separately, or none of them at all, aren't going to make a huge impact if you don't commit to doing the right thing. So you can eat fruits and vegetables and you can drink 8 sodas a day, and that's not going to work for you. You can drink only Shakeology and then go to McDonald's for lunch and have pizza for dinner, and it's not going to work for you. Or if you're like me, you can do a really intense workout and say, well, that gives me the right to have a cookie or an ice cream every single day. And that's not going to get you where you want to go either. So it's really the combination of the three things together. So I want to talk about Shakeology. Again, I said that there's nothing magic in this, and that's true. But there is a lot of really awesome things in it. So if somebody is promoting a drink that you can lose weight without having to work out or change the way you eat, you should probably think about that. What is going to chemically alter your body in a way that just zaps fat? And that, to me, that's scary, and I wouldn't have signed up for that, right? So if you want to look at the back of the label, and you can't, but I'd be happy to send you a picture of it. These are things that you're familiar with. There's whey protein, there's flax, there's chia, there's moringa, there's maca powder, which I was not familiar with. There's some green tea extract, which gives you some energy, which is nice. But it's basically everything that is natural that you find in that health food section, all put into one bag. So I've actually tried using protein shakes in the past with yogurt and fruit, and I didn't like the way they tasted, or I didn't do them consistently. And the reason I probably didn't like the way they tasted, now that I've researched a lot of them, is that they all had sucralose or saccharin in them to give an artificial sweetener. And this has none of that. In fact, the whole concept of the way you eat and change your nutrition is about getting rid of the artificial elements in our diet. So this is all natural. It's more than a protein powder, although it does count as protein in your daily diet. As far as the workouts go, again, there's nothing magic in this, but I have done every single boot camp, 5K training program, personal trainers, and there's nothing that I have been able to do consistently and as easily and still challenging to me on week 10 as it was on week 1. And the fact that it was 30 minutes a day meant that I could actually do it 5 to 6 days a week and not feel completely overwhelmed with my life. So 21 Day Fix, PiYo, there's several new ones that are out right now that I love to talk about too, but they're all in that 30 to 40 minute a day category. Some of them have 2 rest days built in, some of them only 1. This is what the key was for me, and to consistently work out, and I could take it with me, and I couldn't take my group fitness class with me. So again, it's working out, you know how to do it, but there is something really special in the trainers and the way they hit all of the different muscles so that your body is burning fat while you sleep, while you sit at your office chair. You're constantly building muscles. So that's awesome. The other thing I want to talk about is nutrition. This is actually the Fixate cookbook. It's dog-eared, it's stained. It's my favorite cookbook I've ever used. We use it every single night. Tonight we're actually going to have chicken noodle soup, which is a kid favorite. So don't say that your kids or your family won't participate in this with you because it's eating healthy. So this is just basically taking whole ingredients and putting them together. So we don't open a can of soup and dump it in and add water, right? So we don't have preservatives in our food. And I'm not saying we're not human and that when we travel or we go out to eat, we don't know everything that's in them, and we know it's probably not as good as what we can have at home. But 6 days a week, we're eating really, really healthy. And maybe on Saturday night we go out for pizza, and that's fine too. But it's way better than what I was doing before. So if you can't do anything else, the nutrition is the key, right? And so when people say, I just want to try losing weight on my own, I don't want to do Beachbody, that's fine too. This is not for everybody, and plenty of people do it. So if you're not willing to do this part, or you're telling yourself, well, I already eat pretty healthy, I know what to do, I just need to do it better, then you're like me and you're missing that magic combination of all of the things together. So nutrition, superfoods, exercise, water. So this is actually my Shakeology cup that came with the kit. I pretty much use it for drinking water. This was one thing I was actually very good at before. I can live off water and coffee all day long, so that's fine. But for those of you who are drinking soda, I understand that that's really tricky. Shakeology really does help with the energy as well as the sweet tooth cravings. So this video's already gotten really long, and I want to keep talking about it, but I'm going to stop for now because you may have stopped watching already. So please message me, reach out if you want to know more. I am not here to force you to do this. So if you ask me 5 questions and say, now's not the right time for me, that's totally fine. I enjoy talking about it so much because it's made a positive difference in my life that I'm happy just to be able to answer your 5 questions, and you can move on and you can decide if you want to try something else, or maybe later is the right time. So thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from some of you.